Good evening guys, it's 4:47 p.m. Today is May 20th 2022. Today is a Friday, third Friday of the month. It was the end of OPEX today, last day of OPEX, right? So let me first show you what's going on, right? So it's the last day of OPEX, right? So we may expect something. So it's better that I can show you everything in the chart today, right? But at least read this, and what it's trying to tell you. Short-term sellers are now back in full force with mid-term sellers, right, holding it below 42, 39.62, 42. They still have a control, right? So mark down these levels also, right? Today's opening high was this area, right? Happens to be. And then due to OPEX, some buyers are there around 39.27, right, and 07. So mark down these levels too, right? Ideally, I want to see the price staying below all these four levels, right, for sellers, and above all four buyers, right? Remember, the haunting level still today is 4,000 and 4,025, right? There is a whole mystery about haunting levels, right? But I'm not going to explain you here. So that is the background, right? Overall, sellers are in control. And then this is the note from yesterday, around 4 p.m. yesterday, right? It says, I can say super garbage here, nice trapping thing going on, right, both parties, and I guess we are looking for a good move tomorrow. Okay, so that's the background from yesterday carried forward, that we are looking for some move today, good move, then this note, right, and then there are some notes in my chart also, I'll show you. And the NQ has a similar notes. You can see the wording, only the labels changed, right? So I said 77, 135, below those two levels, sellers still have a control, with some buyers around 07 and 967, 927. Ideally, I want price to stay below all these four levels for sellers, right? And this is my haunting levels. Okay, Russell, these are the levels. Overall, sellers are still in control. Shorts below 1826 in general, right? So 1826 below, you stick with shorts, right? And these are the levels. Okay, Dow, you can see the most recent sellers line in sand is this, right? And price is below that range, so stick with shorts below this and this. Okay, crude above 109, stick with buyers, and below sellers, right? I prefer not to touch crude today as well. These are the dream number also, right? So now you know the background. Overall, we are favoring sellers below certain levels, right? And these are the notes, right? So let me give you the notes also, which I gave it to the Discord folks in the morning along with the pre-market notes, right? So you can see it here, preferred area for buyers to hold above, right, which is 27 and 07, which is this, right? This 62, right, and this 40, this 42 area, it's a preferred area for sellers, right? Somewhere I wrote it here, see here, see that? So that note I wrote it right around 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock, that's why that note was there, right? So now you can see the picture, right here in these four levels, right? And this NQ has a similar thing, right? These are the same level, 135, 77 preferred area for buyers, 07, and then this is a backup area, right? Below all this, sellers are in full control, correct? And you can see it, this mini balance between this area and then breakdown, there you go, you are ready to short, right? Which is this short, correct? Here also same thing. Once this balance is broken, you are ready to short. Most likely it will take out this level. We have discussed this thing in Discord. I was there in Discord till 10 o'clock. And then after that I shut it off with 20% open position, which I built out here, in NQNES. Okay. So in Discord we discuss all these things, right? If price comes today at, let's say, 84, which is this area somewhere, it will, or 07, most likely it will go through it. That is what my assumption at that time in the morning when it opened here, and then slowly price came down there, and there is no point buying. Even at Globex low here, right, before I shut it off, I said there is no point buying here. At the same time, ES was right around this 07, which is this area, right here. I said no point buying here, you rather look for short. Most likely it will go through it. and if sellers are so strong, it will not go to 23. See, 23 was bottom line. If it goes above 23, this entire day may reverse. NQ 990, which is somewhere around here, if it goes above, entire day may reverse, right? But I said ideally I want sellers to hold it below, not even go there, even hold right here, which is 13 area, But anyway, so, and you can see this, it basically held this 14 area. See that, this line, right? So it's a pure support and resistance idea, right? And then you can see it here also, right? So, but anyway, this is already, it, you have to stick with sellers, right? So we were able to capture the shorts right of the open. So now at least you know the bias, right? What is going on, right? And then you just have to find your level to short, right? So NQ, so I did right of the open, I shorted NQ. ES I did not, because it was holding above this preferred buyer area, right? So ES I did not short it, but NQ I shorted right here. And I already explained the rationale behind the way it went higher to this level, right of the open, got rejection, went through this VWAP, all this thing in Discord, right? You have to be in my Discord in order to understand all this thing. But at least I am giving you the high level overview, right? So then short was right here, right? But so 22 was my short, 25, 3-point stop, right? And then immediately it went down all the way up to here, right? So I took some profit here. Rest I just put it at break even, right? And this bump up, which I was not expecting, it took me out, right? My remaining contract, fine. But then because my stop was 3 point and this was almost what? How many points I got? 945, almost 70 points with 3-point stop, right? So, and then it took me out for the remaining contract, right? But then also in Discord at the same time, I said, if now it took me out, the buyer better hold it above this 07 now. 07 to 14, that is the level I gave. If it doesn't hold, come back down, they are in trouble. So here it came down immediately, right? That was another short right here. And then it pulled back here. I said, they better hold it here now. Then because the whole idea, the short I started from here, it was having some kind of trending move. And if in order to have a trending move, it is very important it stays below this now. Because that was the preferred area for buyers, right? So, and then all it has to do is go below this and it's done. See, here it poked below it one time, right? And we already discussed in Discord that these are the poor buyers. We do not want to rely on them. We rather took for breakout about this and long than going long at the lower level, right? Because they are poor buyers, right? So yes, same thing, right? So there is no long setup here, right? Regardless of whatever other system is showing you, contextually there is no long bias, okay? So, and then so I will walk you through the Mbox also. Mbox has a very good signal today to the short side, right of the open. So, and then when NQ went higher, right? Mbox had a short signal here, and also ES had a divergence. So you can look at this, right? So AD was here all the way top when price went above this morning high, right? AD was here, right here. It was a divergence, strong divergence. Same thing with NQ also, strong divergence, right? So, and these are the levels, good levels, preferred area for sellers, and it's overall short-term, long-term, short-term, mid-term are in sync for sellers, right? And today we are expecting some kind of move, right? And if there is a move, then they better usually hold the highs and lows of the day in the morning, right? Or they make a day's high and low in the morning, right? So all this combining, right? And this divergence, this was a short in ES, not in NQ. If you are using Mbox, then yes, you can do it later on, right? But NQ being NQ, you have to be very careful. So ES you can short it because it doesn't move that fast, right? But NQ you have to wait. The moment it goes down, you short again. And then again there is another short, right? And then it never went back above this 25, my original stop after that, right? So that was my stop here, right? And then it went down. So here at this point, since I usually trade until 10 o'clock on Friday or every day, right? So I just took the profit here because it was good amount of profit for me. See, it's 900 to whatever, from here to here, right? And then I knew at that time that now whatever I was thinking in the morning, that day, then that down day may happen and price may go all the way up to 11,500, which is this. See, this was the target. I put it in Discord also. And then ES I was looking for 3800, 3820 to 37.70 or 80. So when it reached here at 38.20, I took the profit for the remaining 20% contract. 80% I took the off right here and right here. Okay. And this trade was also we discussed in this call before I left. That was another trade which was when price was chopping around here around 10 o'clock, which is this, right? So let me open up. That was a good shot. Here is the one I captured a screenshot, right, and I put it in Discord at that time, right here. So when price was here, right here at this bar, I said momentum is holding above zero line, ED is holding here, right? It's chopping around. Overall it's down, right? All it needs to do is, in order for a breakdown, all this thing needs to move down, and you can see this things move down, this thing move down, this thing move down, and the price move down. That was a perfect shot right here, right? So which was this shot in NQ and ES same time, right here. So hold on. So this one was here. Okay, that was your another shot. Okay, and then you just have to hold it, or manage it, however you want to manage it, right? And then I took this profit here before I left, 80% off, right? 20% I put a stop at 990, and yes, 39.28. That's where I put the stop for remaining, and then I just held it, targeting this lower level. This one basically was my target, but I said 500 in this call, right? Just a few points ahead of it, but I built out here pretty much almost, so that's the morning story. It was pretty clear, based on this notes, levels, everything was lined up today, right? So now let me show you Mbox also, right? So let me pause it, and so now I brought in Mbox here, right? So NQ, so I'm going to first tackle NQ, right? And actually at the same time I'm going to tackle ES also, right? So Mbox has a pretty good signal today. So right of the open of the back, right here, right? What I saw was this, 133, 128, 133, right? And here remember 494, right? And then 192, right? Looks like it wants to go higher, correct? Right of the open. So we were observing it, correct? And then this thing happened. The way NQ went up to 49, which is this line, right? And was coming down. And when I saw this, right? Which is this area, right? There was something in NQ, I forgot. There was a -3 at that time here, something -3 or something, something was there here, which it is not showing up here, but in live environment I saw that -3 or something developing, and also there was another thing I noticed, which is this. See that when it went higher to make this high right of the open, right? I saw this imbalance, supposed to be the buying, right? Because price went higher at that time when candle was going higher. This one was red, and at the same time in ES, this one, right, it was going down, and this one, right, in ES, also it was down, right? And then later on, when this pullback happened in 5 minutes, which is this trade, right, you can see this thing was also imbalanced, supposed to be the higher side, right, upside above zero line. This was down, so strong imbalance, right? And so those two trades in ES and NQ around same time. So remember here in ES I said it's a divergence, bearish city divergence, right? So that was this trade right here, right? And NQ you can see it right here, -6 in 5 minutes, right? So that was the second trade, which is around here somewhere, right? Based on this. So look at how much buying is there, right? Very little, tiny, right? So that was based on 5 minutes. The second time, when someone was to short it. First time it was based on 1 minute, right here, because of this, right? And yes, 1 minute I don't have it open right now, but it was around similar story, So it is that simple today, I don't have to even walk you through any other thing in Mbox. This was enough information, these things, and this, and this, and this. And then immediately you see these things, right, with a strong volume coming in, right? This was a good thing, right of the open. Now you can only trade these things, right? So there are a couple of ways actually. Later on, this was a confirmed signal right here, because look at this, buying continues to reduce here. See that while price was balancing, buying was gone, right? And then you can suddenly, you saw this was another short trade, right? And after that, and you can look at it 5 minute, it was just trending down, right? So, and you can do see this, so that at least that is showing you that price is strongly trending down, right? So you can pick up all these trades on the way down, right? Let's say if you don't have these levels and you don't have my bias or anything, right? You don't have my levels, you don't have my bias, you don't have a context, right? But at least these are the good storytelling thing, you know. But I'm sure whoever is trading these things, you guys may have, you know, some bias or context, right? It is always good to have some context, you know, and some bias, and then trade it with using Mbox, right? But today that was a very good signals today, you know, like very good, you know, and it was happening around these similar good areas, you know. So that's why it was powerful today, and that led me to hold my trade longer and look for longer target right from the here, you know, expecting a down move, strong one. So that's why I was able to hold this entire trade for remaining position all the way up to 20, and ES NQ all the way up to 500, you know. And I tweeted also those things. But anyway, so those are the good trades today, you know, very clear cut trades, and you can see it also later on, these things, right? So, and that be all for today.